Dear friends, welcome back. The machine I'm going to do together with you would be Pink's Palace V2. The link will be added into the description section below so that you can download and play the machine if you want. And here's some description of this machine. We need to append the entry or host name into the host file. And I think this machine is not easy. Maybe especially the privilege escalation is a bit hard. Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's just get started. We can go inside the Linux VM of the VMware to start our pen testing journey. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be netdiscover. As you can see over here, the IP address of target could be identified as 147. So what are we going to do next? We need to do the port and surface scanning with the map. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So for now, we just get out its result. As you can see over here, I used the option like synscan, the version scan, the default script scan, followed by the -p- to do the full range port scan. And the last option for all is on to output the result into this file. I think you can notice here the IP address has been changed from the first time when I did the machine. So from the map scanning, we can tell that at this moment there is only one output number on the target, 80, which is running HTTP service and also the version information Apache 2. And the three port number which state are filtered. So maybe port knocking would be involved later. Okay? So what we are going to do next, we need to do the enumeration with the HTTP service both manually and automatically. Let's fire up our browser to do the manual enumeration first. And we can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. As you can see, it's loading. Since I've already configured the target machine as host only, so if the browser tries to connect to the internet to retrieve some code like Bootstrap or JavaScript, this will not work. So for us, we just wait for this to be timed out and continue. So at the bottom, you can see it's trying to transfer data from the Google APIs.com, which cannot work at all. In the meantime, we can try to retrieve the robots file of the target. We can use the Q and the robots. So not found. As you can see here, it's looking up PinkyDB. So as I think described by the author, we need to append this host name to the host file. Okay, so let me do it now. We can echo PinkyDB and tunnel to sudo T with a option to append it to host file. Okay, so now if we press enter, or we just access the host name rather than IP address. Pinky DB. Press enter, and we got this page or this side back. This is the block, just another WordPress site. And you can walk through to the bottom. Nothing interesting we can get. And also we can check its source code. Nothing special. And next we need to use Nigto to do the automatic enumeration. Pinky DB. Press enter. All right. I don't think we can find anything important from Ligto. To save time, I'd like to interrupt it here. And next, we can use GoBuster to do the directory enumeration. I'd like to autocomplete this command. As you can see here, the GoBuster can discover some directories and files, but I think most of them belong to default WordPress application. And we do not need to, go into each of them. However, there is one interesting directory, secret, and we can access this directory. Secret. And there is bam. So from its name itself, we can tell that possibly the pod locking will be involved or will be required to open up those three pod number. At this moment, the state for these three pod number are filtered. Okay, and maybe we need to copy and note down to our notebook. Okay, and also maybe this is the possible username, right? So possible username. Paste it in here. All right. And before we try to do the pod locking, I'd like to do the particular WordPress enumeration with utility WP scan. WP scan. So this command will try to enumerate the username and also the plugins. Although, sometimes we cannot get any plugins from this command. As you can see over here, users has been identified. We can copy and paste in here. This should be another possible username. Next, we need to try to crack the passwords. And normally we can use Roku as with the list. But this case, I'd like to create the custom with the list with Q. As you can see, the custom word list, password word list has been created. And there are 172 words in total. So next we can use the WP scan and use the option, the uppercase U, to crack the uppercase U to specify the username, and then the uppercase P to specify the word list of the passwords. Okay. Of course, I don't think we can break or we can crack the password for this user. Okay, not found. If you want, also you can change the password dictionary to the locq to try. Okay, and you will not succeed. To save time, I will not wait. So of course, what I'm doing now is following some standards. So I think we have also we need to, to make comprehensive enumeration with plugins, and we can use this option. We can copy URL and we can paste in here and mixed. Sometimes if the target WordPress application has a vulnerable plugin, and then we can utilize this vulnerable plugin to our advantage, for example, to get initial foothold on the target. But in this case, we cannot get anything like that. Again, to save time of this video, I will not wait. Okay, so I think we have already done almost what we can do against the HTTP surface. So how to do? Just now, the author has already left the hint that we need to do some sort of port locking. Okay, so we can use knock. And at this moment, we didn't know whether this order can work. If cannot, then we can, we can change the order, okay, of the ports. And we can use the map, sudo map, to see whether, as you can see, we are lucky. We have already kick or knock those port number open. And next, we need to know the version information for all 3 port numbers. This will take none because I just doing scanning against this 3 port number, not entire. Okay, I think you can notice that this port number is used by the SSH service, and next one is HTTP or running another web application, and the next one, I think Nmap cannot, cannot give us the information for certain. Anyway, we need to access the another or second web application to see what it's about, and we can remove. And there is one hyperlink we can click, and so invalid username and or password. So of course, before we try to crack the password, we can, for example, we can use the weak credential like admin to login field, and also we can try to use the login bypass technique to login, and password anything login. Not successful. Next, we need to try to, for example, we can do the nickel to make some automatic enumeration. But I don't think we can find any interesting. Also, if you want, we can use GoBuster to do the direct enumeration against this or second web application. Okay, like login. Although the GoBuster can discover the config.php file. However, the response, the size of this response is 0. It means that nothing we can get from this config.php file. So I'd like to enter here. So what we can do now, I think we need to make brute forcing against this user login panel. And to do that, we can open up the developer tool of a browser, and we can trigger some requests like a domain and the password. Okay, login, and then we can go to the post request. Then we can use the Hydra, or maybe we can use the Bubble Suite to crack, but I prefer to use the Hydra to, to brute force against the HTTP post. And we can use Hydra. And before we do that, I think just now we have already got some possible usernames, and therefore we need to create the username word list or dictionary to crack. Okay, so and we can copy. Maybe I can copy. Okay. And also, I think from the login panel, we can get another possible username, Pinky. Right? So, Pinky. And another possible username is admin root. Okay? So now we can write and quit. So then we can use Hydra, username, and I'd like to autocomplete this command. So I use the option of -F to specify the, or to tell the Hydra when it finds the correct password or valid combinations of username and password, it can stop there. And use the option of the S to specify the port number if the port number is not standard or default one. Okay, and the host name, and then service information, post form, and the login page, and also the request payload. Of course, such information you can get from this. For example, like request, we can switch to raw and copy, and then we can use placer to replace the respective field like username and password. And at the end of this command, we need to specify the error message when we submit the invalid username or password. Okay, so now we can hit enter. Because the password dictionary is very short, very small. As you can see over here, so quick we can get the username and password. We can copy and paste on our notebook. So next we can log in to this database login, Pinky, and paste in here. We can close up the developer tool and log in. And there are two links. Also, I think you can notice this URL. Maybe this one has the local file inclusive vulnerability. Afterwards, we can check it. Okay, but now we need to go to two files or two links. And this one is the private key and also give us the nodes. So nodes, Stefano, intern web developer, created the ISA key for security for him to log in. So I think this should be the username. And also we have already downloaded the private key with this user. So then I think we can move from the downloads directory to the current working directory. We need to change its permission setting, and then we can SSH with option for I to specify the private key. And now we can press enter. And however, we need to enter passphrase to use this private key. And to crack it, to crack the passphrase, first of all, we need to convert this file to the hash value. So how to do? We can SSH to John. And then we can use John the Ripper because I've already, maybe I can show you. Because I've already made such a crack earlier. And so the John the Ripper will not go through this process repeatedly, okay? And now we can use John with show option to display the passphrase. We can copy and paste in here. So now we can SSH and we can copy and paste in here. So next we need to do the local enumeration to make lateral movement. For example, we can retrieve the bash history file. So we need to see the tools and also the bin. So I think we need to, later we need to check out this backup shell script. We can copy and the backup. And also the daemon. We also need to take a look at later. And also this one. Because these files or directories are suspicious, right? And test. Okay, so I think now we can go to the tools directory. And here has one link or one file. Sorry, my bad. So Pinky made me this program. I think this program, so I can easily send a message to him. And also this binary, we can use a file command to display. This is the executable regular file, no read permission. Yeah, the current user doesn't have permission to access this binary. And also very important, this binary has SUID bit. So when we run this binary, we can get the privilege of the owner. This case is Pinky. Okay, so but before we do anything, we need to transfer this file or retrieve this file onto the Linux for analysis, right? And I think you can notice the www data have permission to retrieve. And if we go back to this page, also I've already, noted down such information. We can paste in here. So maybe we can test. We can test to see whether there is any local file inclusion vulnerability with this page. Then we can put some up. It can. And so it means that the target exists LFI vulnerability. So I think we can utilize this vulnerability to retrieve the binary. Yeah, this one. And how to do? We can copy, open up another tab, and then we can use Q. And I'd like to auto-complete this command. All right, and then we can press enter. And we need to make it executable. And then we can, for example, we can use the strings to take a look at the readable characters of this binary. So the echo to this one. And so we'll get the environment value. Welcome input password. So I think next I'd like to use the reverse engineering tool, Hydra. Let's open up. and we can new project. We can limit to test, and then we can analyze the target binary. We can import a file. We can select a file to import. Okay. And then would you like to analyze it now? Of course. Analyze. Okay. And now we can go to the functions and find the main function. You know, this is the entry of the entire binary. And here, the parameter, the first one is integer. And the second one, I think this should be the array, maybe. And also some variable definition. And if the number of the parameters is less than 2, and then we'll print some message. All right. And then, so we need to get the environmental variable term and save this value to this variable local underscore 10, and then print the input password, and then we can capture our input to and save this value to the 58 variable, and then we'll get the length of this. I mean, so this is the string length of string. If the, I think this is the hex format. So it means that if the length of this variable is larger than 40, okay, and then we'll put the bad hacker go away. If not, then we can continue, right? And then we'll compare string. This one should be our inputted string, and then this one should be the, as you can see over here, this should be the environmental variable, the term. So if matches equals 0, and then we can, as you can see here, we'll get the GID, the UID, and also can set the GID. And so I think we can utilize this binary to our advantage. So how to do? First of all, we need to get its password. And to get the password, we can print out the environmental variable term. And then we can run. And we need to pass the reverse shell command. Very important, we should put the single quote, and then this should be seen or handled by this binary as the string, okay? Bin bash. I think this video will be going on a bit long time, so please be patient. And for the number, before we hit enter, we need to set up the listener on the Linux first to wait for the collection and input password. We have already got to know the password. We can copy and paste in here. As you can see, we have already got the collection from the target, the Python. So we need to spawn interactive shell by import pty module, pty spawn bin bash. Okay, and now, we need to do some local enumeration, right? We can go to the home directory, and we can go to, but nothing there. Also, we can ID. However, at this moment, the group ID is Stefano. And just now, maybe I can close up the Hydra to save the resource of my Kali Okay, so I think next we need to take a look at this shell script, and to do that we can use ls command to print out the file name information. As you can see over here, this is the shell script, and we can cut out is this file or this shell script. However, permission denied. Very weird, right? So if you can notice, or you can take a look at the owner and the group information very carefully, you know that this shell script, the owner is daemon, and the current user is Pinky. And also, maybe you'll be wondering, yeah, I'm Pinky, right? The current user Pinky. So why I cannot access this shell script? Because, just mentioned earlier, right now, the group ID, the group is not Pinky, is Stefano. So before we access this shell script, we need to switch our group to Pinky. And the command is new group and Pinky. And now we can run the ID. As you can see here now, we have already become the member of the Pinky group. So next we can cut out this shell script. Okay, because the calendar group have a permission to modify this shell script, and also from the name itself we can deduce or guess that maybe the user, I mean the owner of this user, daemon, is running this script at the background regularly. Okay, so how to do? We can echo, maybe echo. We can spawn another shell and a different port number, and we can append it to this file. Before I hit enter, I need to make a double check the netcat and execute the bash, the IP address of the Kali and another port number. Okay, press enter. Now we need to open up another tab and to set up another listener by another cat. Okay, and I'd like to zoom in the terminal. And I think we have to wait a bit time. And when it's done, or when it's connected, I will come back. See you there. All right, as you can see over here, we have already got another collection, and we can spawn interactive shell by Python, pty spawn method bin bash. So next, it's time, to take a look at this directory, and I think this should be the hint left by the author, right? And we can go to the daemon. This is a very suspicious directory. Normally we cannot see such directory, and as you can see here, panel. So also we can, upload the linear shell script to do the automatic enumeration, right? And I've already got this shell script ready. So next we can set up a web server by Python to upload to the target. We can use wget limpiers. It's done, and then we can run it. I hope you can realize its power of the NinPL shell script when we deal with the Linux machine, because this shell script can do, a very comprehensive enumeration. As you can see, it's done, and we can scroll up. Okay, I think here you can see here the writable executable, this file. And also if you continue your scrolling to the process section, even, as you can see over here, this binary is owned and or run by root user. So next, I think we need to transfer this panel to our Kali Linux for analysis. So how to do? We can go to the directory of daemon, and then we need to transfer it to Kali Linux. And I can open up another tab. We can set up another listener. We can use cat panel, and it 8. Press enter. As you can see, this listener has received data from the target, and maybe I can zoom in the terminal. So now, of course, we need to make it executable. And if we run this binary, and you can open another tab, you can check the port number, open port. As you can see here, this port number is open. So I think from the map scanning, we have to know that the target is, has already opened this port number after our port locking. So next, it's obvious that we need to, attack this port number. So how to do? And we can use GDB, debugger to help us. And we can use debugger panel. And if you display the functions, as you can see over here, I think you notice this one handle CMD caught our attention most. And if you want to get more information to disassemble this function, and this function has, this, which one? Yeah, this function involved, and this function is vulnerable to the buffer overflow. Okay, so next we need to, make a fuzzing or make some spiking. Okay, and we need to try to find out the offset, and then we, of course, our objective here is to overwrite the, because I think, we can go to, this is not 32-bit payload. We can use a file and the panel. This is 64. So we need to, for us, this is a bit different. We need to override the RIP register. So we can put the, for example, like, similar to the 32 RSP address, or the address for the next instruction. Then we can get our privilege escalated. Okay, so how to do? Let me show you. We can zoom in the terminal. This will take a while, okay, because I think this is the most difficult part. in the entire penetration. We can run it, and then we can, we can use netcat to connect the two, and we can use Python to generate some payload. For example, I want to create the 500 characters, and then we can copy and we can paste in here. As you can see, we got the error, the sick. So this, I think, should be, the segmentation fault. And if we run it again, oh, sorry, I need to, we need to set or make some configuration. And to do that, I need to reboot my Kali Linux. So when I restart my Kali Linux, and then I will continue the recording. See you there. All right, let's continue. First of all, we need to set the follow fork mode to child. So we will follow all, the forked process, and such a process will handle the collections. Okay, and also we need to set the detach off, and then we can, we can run it, and we can connect to this application, and we can generate some payload. We can copy, paste in here. Okay, it's broken, and we can try to create 100 characters, and we can need to rerun it, and we can copy this payload, paste in here. This time exceeded the program normally, so it didn't crash. So we need to try this one by one until you find that if we use the 124 bytes, and then we can overwrite the RIP. Okay, so I like to show you. We can use this one. Well, maybe I can Python print. Okay, so now we can rerun it, and we can copy this payload. And then we can display the register. As you can see over here, the IP, which store the address, memory address for the next instruction. So if we can, if we can point this address to the ISP, then we can, because, and then we can point to, we need to want to run the shell code, right? And however, first of all, we need to get the address for the ISP. How to do? We can use gmp call, and you can get the address. Of course, we need to reverse this address. So next, we need to create the shell code. We can use ms-velum, and this is bad characters, and the architecture is 64. We can press enter. It's done. Then we can, we can go to, we can open up the PyCharm to write our exploit code. And this should be the buffer. And the length is the 119. We need to make it to, 120. And then should be the address of the, the RIP. Or not IP, the ISP, okay? We can copy. And we can exploit. So import socket, and we can paste in here. So here we just append the non-operation x90. This will not affect our shell code. Next, we need to append the address of this one, the ISP. We need to point our shell code to this address. Okay, so now we need to reverse x fb x 0 c x 0c 40, because this address should be 4 bytes, right? So we can add 00. Next, we can initialize the socket object. Socket IPv4 address family, socket string. Then we can connect to the target. So the address of the target should be, I cannot remember its IP address, which doesn't matter. So 47. So 47, and followed by the port number. And we will, first of all, we need to receive data from the target, and then we can send the payload. Okay, we can save. Now we can launch our exploit, but of course we need to set up a listener. Sudo. So should be and now we can open another tab. We can use Python exploit. As you can see, we got the collection. As you can see, we successfully got the root shell. Okay, and we can retrieve the root flag. We can go to root directory, and then we can get the root flag. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.